Both teams shaking hands in the middle of the field. The referee asked us to have a little bit more distance on the coin toss this time, which is perfectly fine.
Number 13, Number 23, Trevor. Sophomores, number 2, Lawrence Schumacher. Number 6, Edmundo Cortez.
I love this.
Clarksville. Number 5, Cillian McLean. 51, Stephen Anderson.
Oh, the
72,
official
Jack Gow.
turns it,
Junior,
just flips it up.
number 3, Jared Willis.
Falcons have won the coin toss. They've elected to receive, and the Mountain Lions will defend.
64, David Yang. 77, Jalen Tillman. 80,
The Falcons have won the toss. It's better. It's better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we may be back up here. It's a lot better than it was. We can at least see the film here. But the only thing you missed was a timeout called by the Falcons. We've got 4:10 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 6-0 lead for FCA. They struck first blood receiving the ball. As Holcomb in the shotgun hands it off to Buchanan. And it's a 1st and 10 right now for the Falcons.
Buchanan on the carry.
So it's now 2nd down and 3. I believe they called it a 1st down for the Falcons with the carry by Buchanan across the 50, but they pulled it back because of the block in the back penalty, but still ruled it a 1st down. So at least that's what I think happened there, because we just played from a 1st down. But of course, we'll see how it goes here. It's now 2nd down and 3 for FCA. Ball snapped. Holcomb fakes the handoff, looking for a pass on the left side. He's being rushed and slides down short of the line of scrimmage, about 2 yards. So it's now 3rd down and 4. It's an interesting move by Holcomb to call it short.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he could have just ran out of bounds right there. He was right there out of bounds, but, slide down. That's really a veteran move to do. But he did it once before, running in the open field after gaining about 15 yards. So he's not afraid to slide, to say the least.
And Daniel Holcomb, a baseball player, so that's where he gets some of his sliding skills from. One of the starting pitchers for the Falcons baseball team in MTAC.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he plays football, basketball, and baseball. And a flag thrown. I believe this will be delay of game.
I thought you were about to say, and he plays flag football.
Yes, he plays regular tackle football and flag football in the facetious sense. Well, half of it is facetious.
Facetious?
Facetious.
What does that mean?
The fictional sense.
I'm pretty sure fictional has less words. Why not just say that?
Encroachment on the offense is what the referee ruled there. It's now 3rd down and 7. We actually make that 3rd down and 8.
When we got here, it was really hot, but now we got a nice cool breeze coming in, and I think this is a great weather for some football.
As Schindel running on the left side cuts in, he steps out of bounds, ruled out of bounds at the 46-yard line, just stopped short. It looked like Schindel could have been off to the races there if he had stayed in bounds.
Down to the mountain line.
Yeah, but I mean, it's smart with injuries, and it's about halfway through the season. People are going to be worried to get hit. Like I saw number 11, I forget his name, he might have him on a sheet, but number 11 for Sewanee ran out of bounds rather than taking the hit. And that's smart on their part, because you don't want injuries this late in the season when you might have a chance to go all the way to the playoffs.
And here's Schindel across the middle again, cutting through, avoiding several tackles, avoiding one from behind. Andrew Schindel stays on his feet to the 7-yard line. Great effort by Andrew Schindel. That's a prime example of having to wrap and tackle on defense there, Trent.
Yeah, well, I think when he made the first miss, I think he was going more for the ball than the tackle. It's just the risk you take whenever you go for a strip.
And you were mentioning earlier 11 who ran out of bounds on the Mountain Lions team. That's Mr. Dustin Stensby, the quarterback, so he has to dive out of bounds there to keep himself from being injured.
Yeah, and especially when your team's #1 option for yards on offense.
Looks like no gain on the play for Hayden Weeks. So second and goal. The Falcons trying to get another score here. This is the first quarter coming to a close. Second and goal. Holcomb pitches it out to Buchanan to get used to memorizing his name there as he gets down to about the 2-yard line. Third and goal.
Oh, smart. I mean, they're going to try to run and punch it in, and running's been working for him in the passing game. I think how many times? I don't think they've thrown about 2 one time, and on the one of them times they threw an interception. So looks like more the run game is what they're going to be rolling with this game.
Here's Holcomb again and run up the middle. It's a touchdown for the Falcons. John Buchanan with the score.
Touchdown, Falcons.
So John Buchanan getting the score. And the Falcons increase their lead to 12.
I just want to point out, you can hear the coaches from both sides of the field this game.
Both coaches from the South, they take their football very seriously. There's a delay of game on the offense, so they'll move it back 5 yards.
To be honest with you, this game make me feel like we're watching some Texas high school football. But you know, in that case, this would be streamed at 4K, 1080p with about 2,000 people watching it in a stadium.
Mm-hmm. Of course, there may be about, I want to say about 50, 60 people here in stadium, aside from players and coaches, of course. And that pass incomplete intended for Shindell, but a flag is down.
See
We're
that?
not sure what the ruling is.
See that flag right there?
Zoom it in. Friend, they don't want to see the specific flag on the field. Come on, man.
It's there if they want to see it.
See what the
Oh,
official
and
says.
there's their number 11.
Illegal contact on the offense. They've declined it. So it's 12-0 with 47.5 seconds left in the first quarter. The Falcons lead the Mountain Lions.
So, as if y'all are regular listeners, y'all understand how I talk about Sewannee's passing game, and actually heard it from the coach that I was a little bit of an instigator on the reason why he started to pass the ball.
Well, not a little bit. You were the person that made him decide, let's pass the ball a little bit. Literally confirmed from him. It's because of you talking on the show. That's why they started passing in that FCS game. So, in a way, FCS lost because of you.
All I can say is you're welcome, Swanee.
Everybody tunes into the show and has the opportunity to hear Trent and James's advice. That's every Sunday. Extreme Radio, built by MDI Construction, Inc. Every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central, only on our YouTube channel. So that ball goes into the back of the end zone. So 43 seconds left for the Mountain Lions to try anything before the end of the first quarter.
I think now is a good time to point out that if you want to see some of your favorite Sewanee players playing in the All-Star game with all the other All-Stars from MTech, it'll be November 11th in Dayton, Tennessee.
Now, of course, we don't have the picks selected fully for the All-Star game yet, or not announced to the public at least, but we will announce those as we select them. There will be a mock draft, actually, or an announcement of it closer to the end of the regular season. But we got a lot of good people. We've already been tossing around names, and James and Trent have their list together of who they want to advance to the All-Star game in Dayton, but of course, we'll be revealing those later.
And if you want to go back on our YouTube and listen to our radio show, you can hear my hit list, which is usually the people on my hit list is the people I'm going to select for the All-Star game.
And here's Stensby, hands it off, and that's Toombs going up the middle to the 24-yard line. It's now 3rd down and 5 at the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter.
The end of the first quarter, 12-0, the Falcons leading in a shocker over at the Mountain Lions. You're listening to the Extreme Game of the Week, Part 1. On the Mountain Lions 31 as a timeout called here. 10:17 left to go before halftime. The 12-0 lead for Franklin Christian.
And just want to talk about Sewanee and their clock management. I haven't seen them run the clock down. You know, they didn't really do that against FCS. FCS ran the clock down more than Sewanee did last game. So maybe they're picking up on, you know, maybe they're not trying to run the whole entire clock down for one drive equal one quarter, pretty much.
I think it's all your fault for saying that Sewanee didn't do this and this, and now their coach decided, let's not do this.
I mean, I don't know.
That's what you get for being the only media outlet in MTAC football.
Now, actually, this week, I'm curious to start seeing the other games start, because there's quite a few good games going on. Well, in my opinion, there are.
Yeah, Bowling Green Christian Academy hosting Christian Community School, so that'll be a good North Division game. Riverside being hosted by Lighthouse, as well as, of course, we mentioned the Bowling Green game. Lighthouse hosting Riverside. Webb hosting Webb hosting FCS. Will be live at that game. Look at the rest of the schedule here, and the Heat hosting the Defenders tomorrow. So not as many games today and tomorrow, but a good amount of games for the week of the 22nd, as Hendersonville and South Haven on a bye week. 2nd down and 10, an incomplete pass for the Falcons. So here's 2nd and 10. Holcomb in the shotgun. Deep pass on the right side intended for Schindel. It is caught! Under pressure, Schindel with 2 men on him, able to make that catch. I don't know how he comes out with that one.
Well, as a quarterback, you see double coverage, you usually don't throw it to the guy. But I guess he really trusts Schindel to go up there and grab it. That was a great effort by Schindel.
One of the more risky passes you see at any level of football, to throw it with man coverage. That was a good move. That if it had been intercepted, you know that offensive coordinator Ben Pugh would have been harping on Holcomb for taking that pass.
Yeah, he probably would have, but you know he didn't, and he's probably gonna get praised instead. Well, nah, probably not, because I know coaches.
And there's Hayden Weeks into the end zone for the touchdown. A good rush by Hayden Weeks, and the Falcons just increased their lead even more.
Yeah, and I gotta say one thing about the Falcons. It's nice to have you know, a long distance runner, like runner that can make it to a speed back, and then you have the power back that is Meeks or Weeks. Is it Meeks or Weeks?
It's Weeks on the Falcons.
Yeah, and it's nice for them to have a power back like that, so when they do get in the goal line, when they do get first and goal, they have a nice power back to try to punch it in there for 6.
When you say Meek, you're thinking Hendersonville Christian, which we haven't seen them in a while, as Minor gets the 2-point conversion. So with that, the scoreboard not properly updated here. It's now going to be 20-0, I believe. Yes, 20-0 with 9:34 left to go in the second quarter. The Falcons just dominating the Mountain Lions here in Swanee. Falcons kicking off here. Remember, the Mountain Lions will receive the second half, so Swanee has an opportunity to do something here. But it looks like the Falcons are keeping dominance here.
Yeah, we saw onside kick last time from the Falcons, so let's see if they do it again or they give a chance for a nice return.
And they'll give a chance for a nice return here as it goes back to the 20-yard line. Nobody from the Mountain Lions getting on it, and it's 11. It's Caleb Schindel shoving down one of the Mountain Lions to pick it up. That was fallen on by Steven Zhu. The Falcons could have gotten the ball there. It's just another risky move that the Mountain Lions took there, but still end up with the ball. 1st and 10 for Swanee.
Could be the Mountain Lions ball at their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, and it's it looked like a little bit of, I'm not going to say laziness because they're all out here, they're not lazy. Just be a little slowly trying to get to that ball that was on the ground, or is a very well-placed kick. Because they almost got again, and it would have been like a way better onside kick. So
I guess the more turn could be a little bit of sluggish work. We're trying to get out of whatever slump they're in as a rush by Toombs up the middle.
Gain of 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
It's now 2nd down and 4. Here's Stensby handing it off. The Falcons bring him down. That's Quibido and Minor keeping dominance on defense.
That is a dynamic duo for a defensive line. And, you know, that's probably because of the coaching, because I don't know how long they've both been on FCA's team, but I know they've probably been on there the same amount of time that defensive line coach has been on there. So it's probably that great coaching they have and that chemistry they have with each other.
Several players have been with FCA for many years and on the football team, such as Hayden Weeks, Brandon Minor here for a decent amount of time, and some others as well. So here's a rush on the left side. There's 11 dusted Stensby out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. A good rush by the Mountain Lions for a first down.
Yeah, that's the second time they got a lot of yards for kicking it to the outside. So I wouldn't be surprised with the great talent of a talented coach to have on the sideline for FCA to, you know, get somebody just to stay back and spy, just to, you know, make sure that doesn't happen anymore.
Like Coach Shaka Hill said after their loss to Christian Community, he said, "I'm not giving up. I'm still pushing through." As Stensby pushes through the defensive line of the Falcons for a gain of 9 yards on the play. Now down at the 47-yard line, actually. It's 2nd and 1. Second and 1 for the Mountain Lions. As Stensby rushes on the right side, I believe he made the first down there. Got a crooked angle from where they are, and they will move it. They move the chains just slightly for the first down.
I'm interested to see when they're going to start dropping back and throwing it a little more. I guess I'm never satisfied with Sewanee in their passing. I just want to see him drop back and throw one. Because
be careful, Hargis might have a wire.
Yeah, he's just I forgot his number. Let me see real quick. Stensby, I heard he has a great arm. I just want to see him use that rocket.
Did talk to Coach Hargis before the game. He's
cannon.
That's how he mentioned it to us. His arm is like a cannon. We'll see that potentially here as Stensby across the middle, overthrown, intended for Bailey McLean. It's 2nd down. Even with that incomplete pass, his arm got pretty good distance on there for going pretty slow.
Yeah, and his release time is fast and he's accurate. That's something you want as a good quarterback, and be able to have your quarterback to call the cadence and get all your guys right. That's what you look for in your quarterback. So it's I don't know, what year is he? Is he he's a senior, so that might do also with his senior leadership, be able to tell his guys where to go.
There's a penalty here on the Falcons, and they're moving it forward. I think they moved it forward about 15 yards, it looks like, so it may have been unsportsmanlike conduct.
Or it could be a PI, because it looks like where they about put the ball is where the incident would have happened.
Well, that's a little bit of a late announcement of the penalty, too.
A little bit, and if it is for the PI, it was thrown back here by your white hat, so he's probably the farthest ref away from if it was a pass interference call from the call.
Always in the jurisdiction of the official as the ref calls it. Flag thrown again, brought down at the 30-yard line. Stensby tripped up in the backfield, but we'll see what this penalty is. We'll see what the official calls here. We're waiting on his announcement for the flag. Timeout called by the Mountain Lions to speak with the officials. We didn't really see what the penalty announcement was, but 6:48 left to go before halftime. It's a 20-0 lead for Falcons. So it was an illegal formation called on the Mountain Lions, so they moved the ball back 5 yards. It's now 1st and 15 for St. Andrews Sewanee. Here's Stensby in the backfield looking for the pass up the middle, and it is all incomplete. Almost a good sliding catch made there by Gabriel Stevens, the junior. Unfortunately, cannot receive it there.
For a high school quarterback, I'm sorry that I keep on forgetting his name, but Stensby. He is really good for a high school quarterback because he has the arm, he has the speed, he has, from what I see, the leadership. So if I'm Sewanee, I'm really happy with my quarterback this year.
Dustin Stensby, the senior from Winchester, Tennessee, tosses it deep in the end zone, and he's caught for the touchdown. Steven Zhu on this reception, and the Mountain Lions are on the board.
I'll hear something about that from their head coach.
And of course, the Mountain Lions do have someone to kick their field goals, so they may be able to just make it 7, 14, 21 before you know it. And of course, they have to make the extra points for that to occur. And Gabriel Stevens, the kicker, it's through the uprights.
Well, good.
For a good point after. 6:37 left to go in the second quarter. It's 20-7. The Mountain Lions are still in this game.
That was really good. You know how to talk about their passing? I am pleased. Believe it or not, I am pleased with Sewanee's passing. Like I'm telling you, Stensby.
That's their quarterback.
Okay, I gotta make sure I'm.
Come on, man.
I want to pronounce it right. Don't want to get anybody upset. So he's a great quarterback. He has a great arm. It's just it finally worked out. They didn't have no drop passes. They weren't. I mean, he was in coverage. A great job by the wide receiver who caught that. But it was a good play also called to go after the throwing game.
And then the Mountain Lions will kick it back to FCA, and we'll see how it goes from here. Falcons managed to pick up a 0-point streak. Deep on the left side. Caleb Schindel picking up, leading through the defense, still on his feet, going to the left side. Caleb Schindel off to the races, brought down at the 30-yard line of the Mountain Lions. Caleb Schindel fumbled the ball at first. What a great comeback, a great turnaround for that.
What about that? A muff kick, hit off his foot, muffed it, picked it up, broke a couple tackles. I thought he was going all the way. But good job by the kickoff team for Sewanee to stop him short. And let's see what Falcons have for us in store here.
Steven Zhu managed to catch up to Schindel on that kick return and keep him from going into the end zone. Would have been a great moment for the Falcons had Schindel managed to go all the way. At least still a good game here as rushing up the middle is Hayden Weeks, avoiding a second tackle, and Hayden Weeks is in for the touchdown.
Remember when I was talking about their power back they have? That's him right there, and I'm pretty sure that Sewanee's sending a blitz. I'm pretty sure Sewanee's sending a blitz because I saw number 52 kind of come in really before even the play actually started. So good job by completely running over that guy and making the space and shedding another tackle to get in for the 6.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming up here for the Falcons. They don't have anybody to kick field goals. They slightly had Lucas Tomlin last year, but he did not kick very often for the extra point. Actually, that's right.
They're kicking it?
That's right. They do have Ben Duncan on the team. My apologies. I forgot about that with the Riverside game. They do have Ben Duncan as their kicker for field goals.
So we have 2 kickers in an MTAC game, you're telling me.
But a flag is thrown as it goes through the uprights. The interesting thing is they didn't try their field goals earlier in the game, and they missed all of their 2-point conversion attempts. I wonder why they were trying that here.
Well, let's forget about the flag and all that. This is an MTAC game, and both teams have a field goal kicker. Well, what about that?
It is a rare thing to see in 8-man football, at least here in Tennessee. But we have it. Both teams facing off against each other have men who can kick the field goal.
Yeah, but from what you were saying, it is interesting that, because clearly he has more than enough leg power to get it through the upright. So it is kind of interesting why they went for 2 both times. Or We have went for 2 so far and not just kicked the ball. Maybe they're trying to get enough of a lead and give them more game time practice. I really don't know why they wouldn't.
Illegal procedure called on the Falcons, so they'll move it back 5 yards.
Oh, and they're not going to kick a field goal right here.
So they won't attempt the field goal here as Holcomb tosses it, fakes the pass, scrambles to the right, toss in the middle, and it is incomplete.
Bobbled.
Of Weeks. 26-7 with 6:11 left to go in the second quarter. The Falcons leading by 19.
Yeah, and it's kind of strange not seeing Tillman being a huge factor in this game. I guess it's that big duo they have with the center and the guard, Zane Quibido and Graham Harrison. Yeah, both of them being great impacts and watching them block him, and he's just having a tough time this game getting in the backfield. I think he's had a couple tackles though, and he has the speed to catch up there. And I was kind of shocked that he didn't catch up to Holcomb right then, because he definitely has the speed to do it.
Only 6 minutes, 11 seconds left before halftime.
And 26-7. Were you expecting this?
In honest truth, although FCA is my alma mater, based on their past performance, I didn't expect the Falcons to take such a dominant lead in the beginning, but the Mountain Lions are fighting back. I said to both coaches before the game that this would be a good game because both teams know what is at stake. At least from Sunday, I did not expect the game to be this lopsided at this point, but the Mountain Lions are coming back and trying to make it a decent game, which that's what you always want. You want a close game, just like we saw with Bowling Green and Suwannee a few weeks back. You want games like that every day.
Yeah, and then it really looked like they Suwannee got a punch to the gut because they haven't had this happen to him yet this season. So this is new for him for this season. So they might be kind of like wondering, like, oh, we're not the leading team in this game. We don't have the big lead like we always do, or we have it close. And now they're playing catch up. They're downhill trying to run up right now, and I believe they definitely have the firepower to do it. They just need to get it right in their mind.
Here's Toombs brought down at the 38-yard line.
To the 37.
So the Mountain Lions back on offense, and here's their starting offense. Number 5, Bailey McLean. Number 8, Kip Barksdale. Number 11, Dustin Stensby. Number 12, Caden Graham. Number 45, Kalen McLean. Number 52, Justin Elugary. And number 77, Jalen Tillman. And here's the starting defense for the Falcons. Number 10, Ben Duncan. Number 11, Caleb Schindel. Number 12, Andrew Schindel. Number 27, Brandon Miner. Number 30, Michael Graves. Number 40, Hayden Weeks. Number 89, Zane Quibido. Number
this would be the first. Number 1.
As I said in this situation here, as Holcomb rushes on the right side and slides down about the
that could be a late hit.
That'll be second down and 9. But as I said, if the Falcons win tonight, they're 2-0 in division games, and if Webb wins tonight, they'd be 1-0 in division games. So I believe the Falcons may have leads at division games. I'd have to look at the record for the rest of the teams.
And I want to point out why I said that might be a late hit, because he's already slid twice in this game, and every single time he scrambles, he slides. So if you're a defender, you know he's probably going to slide. You don't. Usually it's called late hit if a quarterback is going to slide. If you go down and hit him, it's usually called late hit. That's why I said it. Just want to let y'all know that I do know a little bit about football, and I'm not just saying it because it looked like it.
So a timeout called by the Falcons with 2:54 left to go before the end of the second quarter. So here's what I'm looking at the schedule here. Riverside lost to Suwannee. That's why I said them because I'm looking at their first game. But Suwannee is 3-0 in the South in games. Classical is 2-1. So if Suwannee were to lose tonight, they'd go to 3-1. FCA would be 2-0 undefeated in the South. If Classical were to win, they would be tied there with 3-1 on the record. So I'm not sure what it would come down to in terms of either overall record. We have to look back at the MTAX rules for that.
So yeah, I've been watching a lot of college football, and I've been really into my Vanderbilt Commodores. Going to spank some elephants tomorrow. But I'm kind of looking at, like, if it was, like, kind of doing a top 25, that if, say, they do beat Sewanee, that they would be ranked in front of them. I guess that's how I was thinking. I don't really know what I was thinking.
Yeah, but as we're looking, if Sewanee wins tonight's game, they would be 4-0 in the division, and essentially the only game they have left in the South would be against the Webb School, which is in the final week of the season. And that could be shaping for the playoffs, depending on how it goes from here out. As Holcomb hands it off to Buchanan. Going up the middle, brought down at the 9-yard line. So first and goal here for the Falcons as they get closer to getting another score here before halftime. And of course, Trent and I will give brief analysis at halftime of what we've seen in the game, what we can expect to see going into the second half, of course. We'll do that. We will handle all of that at halftime. Here's a handoff up the middle. Weeks in for the Falcon touchdown.
On the score.
Man, it feels like just a minute ago he did the same thing.
He did, and it was brought back because of the penalty.
Oh, maybe that's what I feel like.
Well, that was Schindel, actually. Sorry. Schindel went in the end zone. It was brought back for the block in the back on Minor. But Weeks, it did feel like he did that just a little bit ago.
Yes, so Sewanee only scoring 7. I don't really know the ratio of the drives for scores. I haven't really been keeping that tally of how many times I've had the ball on offense, but they need to start doing some more work, and I'm pretty sure whenever halftime comes around, 2 minutes and 19 seconds, or halftime goes go around, Sewanee's head coach is going to rally his guys and tell them, like, look, if we want to keep our #1 rank, we can't play like this, so we need to step up our game and get our offense rolling.
33-7 the score with 2:19 left to go before halftime. Falcons pulling a shocking lead over the Mountain Lions.
It's the ref's fault you don't win every game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for real, last year, though, like, it was terrible.
Hit somebody, Davis!
And I just want to say thank you to all of the international views we're going to be getting, since this is a boarding school. Really happy we're able to do this for you so y'all can see y'all's kids play some football.
We get a lot of messages on our Facebook page, of course, with some people watching in Haiti, as well as we had a guy talk to us before the game. As an onside kick, the Falcons rushing for it, and it goes out of bounds, and they'll place the ball at the 40-yard line. But as you were saying, we get messages from some family members of one of the players who are watching in Haiti because they can't otherwise come to watch the games. We also had a guy talk to us before the game who was down out in North Carolina, and normally could only watch the games with us. So we appreciate all the thanks and everything you give to us, of course, and we do have to thank all the coaches for making what we do possible, for giving rosters and tolerating us before games and changing their strategies because of Trent saying something.
Yeah, and I do want to say one thing, like, it is very important that we do this for all the families, because I remember after my games, I was able to walk up, hug my mom, and she tells me good game and all that, and it's
the actual broadcast.
Uh-oh.
That's when he started doing the weekly radio broadcast with J.D. Young.
Looks like the Swanee's defense actually figuring out a way to stop me. I don't want to mess this up again, so I'm going to look. Where is he? He's not on here.
Well, that doesn't matter at the moment. We'll talk about it at halftime. 33-7, the Falcons of Franklin Christian Academy beating the Mountain Lions of St. Andrew Suwannee 33-7. So Trent and I are going to flip around the camera here and do some quick, good analysis. Spencer Thompson and Trent Legate here in Suwannee. Now, Trent, you got to look at how we've seen this. Nobody, and I'm pretty sure nobody, expected this score for Franklin Christian Academy to take this amount of dominance starting off and for them to have this much of a lead over Suwannee. What is Suwannee doing wrong? Welcome back to Suwannee. 33-7. The Falcons lead the Mountain Lions with only 24 minutes left in regulation. Now, we do want to let you guys know that if it remains a blowout, or if the mercy rule starts, we will be leaving this game and heading over to Webb School, the Webb School, because this game is not going to be finished before 7 o'clock at the kickoff time. And if it ends up that the score is a blowout, then we will have no choice but to head over so we can get our doubleheader started on time. So just making you all aware of that.
James is making us. We don't want to go.
Again, facetious sense, because we love all the teams in MTAC, and we're ready to broadcast that intense South game over at the Webb School, the home of the MTAC Championship, actually, for 2017.
Don't be mad at me, James. I didn't mean it.
So the ball is placed at the 49-yard line for the Mountain Lions. So that's where the ball went out of bounds. So the Mountain Lions trying to get something done here on offense. As it's handed, fake handoff, Stensby staying on his feet on the left side. He loses the ball, and it's picked up. The Falcons recover it.
Yep.
Recovered by Michael Griggs, stripped from Dustin Stensby.
Doms is down. Hopefully he's not injured, or he's just sitting there.
Tom's unfortunately injured, but the Falcons have recovered the ball. Daniel Toms down. Injury timeout.
Sorry about mispronouncing that name.
Woo!
Short break.
And Tom's back up. It was a shorter break than usual for him, so he'll be looked at by the trainer on the sideline. Here's 1st and 10 for the Falcons after stripping the ball. I formation. Handoff. There's Schindel up the middle, weaving through the defense, and Schindel is off to the races. No flags. Touchdown, Falcons.
There's a flag.
Wait a second. There is a flag. Looking back.
Offense is coming back.
Holding on the offense, so it'll be brought back 10 yards. 1st and 20. It's always hard to see these flags. It's always hard to see these flags here. That's a flag on Zane Quibido for holding, so it'll be 1st and 20 for Franklin Christian. Schindel, again, another, we mentioned it that he's a dominant force for the Falcons. He's been doing fantastic tonight, even with that penalty voiding his touchdown.
I just want to say something else. Actually, no, it doesn't make any sense. Never mind, I'm sorry.
I don't know what else to say to that there, Trent.
Well, I was going to say, if you're any Kansas State fan, you know the feeling of having a touchdown brought back against you. But that wasn't really, it wasn't really in the same set because that was a fumble, not a flag on you.
1st and 20 for the Falcons.
So, 1st and 20 here for I formation again. We'll see if Schindel can do anything on the next appearance that he has. And here's Buchanan going on the left side. He's still rushing and pushing through to the 47-yard line. John Buchanan making a first impression on the Falcons.
As Buchanan I don't remember seeing him in our last game. Is he new or has he been here?
Yeah, see, from what we've heard, he is a new player on the Falcons that is eligible to play, to our knowledge, of course.
He had his 2 weeks?
Yeah, he had his 2 weeks of not playing, to my knowledge. He is eligible. I believe he came from Centennial High School, so he had his 2 weeks of not playing, and I believe they've gotten that all approved with the conference, to our knowledge. And that's what Shaka Hill told me, is that he acquired the kid and had him sit out for 2 weeks, according to MTAC rules. And that was a rush up the middle by Hayden Weeks for another first down.
So this week we're going to have 2 newcomer guys playing, because Heat has a new guy coming to be able to play in tomorrow's game. His name is Preston something, but it'll be interesting to see him play for his first time in MTAC. He didn't even know 8-man football was a thing.
And it'll be good to see Preston. His last name's still pending. Preston will be seen in tomorrow's game, where either the Heat will get their first victory in the season or the Defenders will get their first victory in franchise history. And here goes Andrew Schindel again on the left side. Gets to about the 34-yard line. So another first down here for Franklin Christian, as they run down the clock and try to get that mercy rule. It's a 2-score game for them to get the mercy rule, of course. The Mountain Lions trying to fight back. I formation for the Falcons. 1st and 10. Ball fumbled by Holcomb, and picks it up and gives it to Schindel. Schindel still on his feet, taking several men to bring him down at the 18-yard line. Another first down for the Falcons in the red zone.
It's really, let's go back on the first game. The second game me and you have ever broadcast together was the FCA CCS game, and when we thought Schindel went out with a season-ending injury, really happy that, really good that it wasn't a season-ending injury. But, you know, this might be a whole different game if he was out. But actually, it might not be, because Weeks, he's a great ball carrier as well for FCA. But really good by Schindel. He's showing that leadership from just keep on going and just keep on grinding his gears.
Hand it off to Buchanan, going up the middle. Buchanan staying on his feet. Took several players to bring him down there as he gets to about the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. And that's a defensive fail there.
And that was no issue of wrapping up. One guy literally hugged him, and he just was like, "Get off me!" And so, dang, that was a power run right there. They have 2 power runners in Weeks, and your cue, Spencer, for the other guy that I don't know his name, number 21, in the backfield right now. What's his name?
21, John Buchanan for the Falcons.
And Schindel. They have 3 great running backs.
As Buchanan gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Buchanan just avoiding many tackles and gets another score on the board for FCA.
Yeah, it seems like I am shocked about how Sewanee is not being able to stay up in this game. What about you, Spencer?
Honestly, I would rather see more fight from the Mountain Lions and what we've seen in the previous games. Like their first game against Bowling Green. We want to see what happened there. We want to see the kind of dominance they've kept up against other teams in the South. But we haven't really seen that tonight as Ben Duncan gets the extra point.
Do you think it could be because they kept on winning and they finally were up, and they might hear us talk about how well they are doing and how they're first and how it might got to their head and they're thinking, oh, we're the best. No one can come in here and take us. Not blaming us for anything, but you know, that could always be a...
Why are you asking me the in-depth questions? You're the color guy. I'm supposed to ask you these things. But
asking for an opinion.
As it's 40-7 with 9:25 left to go in the third quarter, you know, it's hard to say what the issue may be here with the Mountain Lions going into this game, but I think it's just FCA knows what's at stake. They don't want to play in the bowl game, so they're getting a victory here. At least if the score holds up, they're getting a victory here to try and keep those hopes alive. But Sewanee, not out of the playoffs in any way, shape, or form. Not even close to being not out of the bowl game. They still have a reasonable shot at getting to the semis. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here.
And do you know, since you are from FCA and you've probably traveled with the team before to come up to Sewanee, I don't really know if you have or not, but how far is the drive for the Falcons to come up here to face the Mountain Lions?
It's the same drive that we took, about an hour and a half, hour and 45. I remember one particular year, I believe it was back my 7th grade year that we drove down here to Sewanee for the first time playing them. And we took one of those luxury buses with tinted windows, and that was special circumstances that they had some connections with someone who did that. As the kick goes out of bounds, the Mountain Lions will get it on the 40-yard line. But it was tinted windows, and the Falcons just completely slumped. They didn't look anything like they were tonight, and that's because they took a bus with tinted windows, and it really messed with their heads, of course. But it was a good. It's always a good travel to come out here to Sewanee, you know, come out to the country, enjoy it and everything. But at the same time, it's not necessarily a good travel when you come and see a score like this. But I believe that the Mountain Lions could have a chance to make it back here, but the Falcons also have a chance to keep their defenses up and just shut them out. Because you said it yourself, the defense has been dominant on the Falcons, and as the saying is, defense wins championships, or defense wins games.
I was about to say that exact same thing. Defenses win championships.
Now, that's helped for the Falcons so far with back-to-back championships, and now trying to do the trifecta. There's a catch on the outside. There's 20 of the Mountain Lions. Steven Zhu going to about the 43-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 2.
2nd down, 3.
Excuse me, make that 2nd down and 3.
Nice little screenplay to mix up how they're running their offense, you know. A couple runs, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they threw in a play action pass, because they run it so often. You just do a little fake handoff, and your quarterback drop backs and throws one over the middle or on the side, like you know, just anything, you know, just mixing a little bit of play action might be good for him.
Here's Stensby scrambling around the pocket, pass in the middle, and it is incomplete. But they throw a flag late there. Schindel with the coverage. That was a catch not made by Steven Zhu, but Schindel is injured. What was the late flag on there for? If it's going to be pass interference, why was the flag so late?
I don't know, maybe the ref, and it was actually really nice seeing number 20 try to help out Schindel as much as he could. As soon as he went down, 20 was right there to help him, stretch him out. It looked like if it's stretching him out, a double crown? Is that possible?
It's very possible. They just called pass interference on Schindel. You usually don't throw late flags like that, but the trainer from the Webb sideline checking out Schindel here with an injury. It looks like to his leg. It's not that rib coming back up, at least from what we see here, which is always a good thing with Schindel.
Yeah, and I want to say something else for number. Let me get his name, because that was great what he did. Steven Zhu. That was great sportsmanship he showed. That's a little bit of just the brotherhood bond you have with football, you know. And I feel like number 20's been there before, and he was just there right there to help Schindel as soon as he went down. You know, that was great sportsmanship by him.
They're stretching out his legs here to try and get that injury cured.
And it's really bad as both legs, because if this is like a serious injury, that's you know, that's not good when you're not able to use both of your legs.
It's an injury timeout here in Sewanee. Schindel back up and walking, is able to use his legs. That's a good thing there. The FCA will, of course, need him as they face the Heat, the Webb School, and Franklin Classical in the remainder of their season. We'll see how they fare here as we head into the rest of the game. We're letting you know our plan here, ladies and gentlemen. Trent and I decided if the Falcons get 2 more scores here after that, or the mercy rule's enacted and it gets down to the 4th quarter, then we will leave stadium here and haul over to the Webb School so that we can get our second broadcast started on time. We will not be doing any post-game interviews here at Suwannee since we have to rush over there. We thought it was going to be a lot faster game than prior, but of course not the case here.
At the 40.
So tired.
Here's, after the injury timeout, here is first and 5 here after the pass interference. Toss on the left side, he's caught by Zettler. And Zettler into the end zone. Put a Mountain Lions touchdown. Blaze Zettler with the touchdown.
Blaze. That's all I got to say.
Blaze Zettler, Suwannee, Tennessee.
Hey, they didn't listen to me. Both their touchdowns are from passes. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying.
Well, somebody ringing the bell over there for Suwannee. And we'll see the extra point pending here.
Well, looks like we won't be leaving early, will we?
We might not. We may have to get to Webb late for the broadcast, which is perfectly fine. As it goes through the uprights, it's now 40-14. The Mountain Lions down by 26. Trying to make it back here against the Falcons. The Mountain Lions kicking off here. They'll kick it deep. And that kick will go out of bounds, so 40-yard line is where the Falcons will begin their drive.
Just gonna let y'all see how nice and sunshine
showing you
is.
The weather here, as Trent wanted to show you, showing you the atmosphere here in St. Andrews, Suwannee.
A really pretty area they have over here, isn't it? Not a very manly thing to say, but it's very pretty over here.
I don't think anyone can revoke your man card for using an adjective, but hey,
and someone can.
I'm not one to judge on that. The Falcons start on the 35-yard line. High formation as Holcomb hands it off to Buckman.
Uh-oh.
About a yard gain there. He's going so second down and 9.
He might have figured out a way to stop this running game. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see, though.
Timeout called by the Falcons. 7:54 left to go in the third quarter. Falcons lead by 26. our apologies, it's not a timeout called by the Falcons, it's an injury timeout. Buchanan down on the court.
Are you guys
First, you're 2nd and 9. Holcomb in the shotgun with a man to his right. Tosses it out quick to Minor on the right side. Going in, collides and gets down to the 37-yard line.
Holcomb to Minor on the pass for a first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Just trying to rush it down to continue it down here. And of course, the high school rule for the referees, they do stop the clock to place the ball after a large gain. I wonder why they don't do that in college or in the National Football League. I guess it's because their officials are trained in those situations. As a dropped pass by Minor right between his hands. So 2nd down and 10.
Getting a bit of a, you might be able to hear a bit of the fans getting rowdy.
I'm wondering where their energy has been the entire game, honestly. The Mountain Lions probably could have used it earlier to not have this much of a deficit.
At the Mountain Lion, 47.
2nd down and 10. There's 2 receivers on left, 1 on right. Holcomb with Weeks to his right. Motion on the play by Minor. And false start by Caleb Schindel. We'll move it back 5 yards.
Offsides Falcons. 2nd and 15.
Caleb Schindel with the false start.
Hopefully for the Falcons, they aren't thinking that they already have this game won, and they're just, you know, being a little bit not having their mind in the right place, because I think they already got this game. So hopefully they, you know, get back into their ways that they were in the first half. And it looks like Sewannee's improved since the first half.
And here's Holcomb rushing on the right side. Daniel Holcomb on the sideline. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10.
First down, Falcons.
Set it up.
Restart the stream.
So we're not ignoring him.
Here's 1st and 10 for the Falcons again on the 26-yard line. Holcomb hands it off to Weeks. Cuts back inside. Over one of his teammates. Harrison on the ground. 2nd down and 7. Harrison was tripped up at the line of scrimmage there. The offensive coordinator for the Falcons, Benjamin Pugh, been with the Falcons since 2014, working as an assistant coach and on offense. Handed it off to Weeks, going on the right side. Hayden Weeks into the end zone for the Falcons touchdown.
Weeks on the touchdown for Falcons.
I believe we just noticed we are having a little bit of video issues. We do apologize for that. Probably going to be leaving in just a few minutes here from Swanee, so we'll have full video at web for our 2nd game of the night. So we're just going to stick with audio for the rest of the time. Even if, unfortunately, we apologize for that. We'll be leaving shortly to get over to the web school.
Oh, look at that on the video. Look at that.
Don't tease them, Trent. There's the extra point attempt here for Young, but a flag thrown, I believe, delay of game. Offsides on the defense, so half the distance to the goal.
Looks like they're having a late pep rally over there to our left.
So, to our left, the Suwannee Mountain Lions fans having a pep rally a little bit too late with the score that we have right now of 34 points. And this field goal, I believe, will enact the mercy rule. So here's Ben Duncan. And the whistle blown again. The officials stopping the game again for whatever reason. Now they will resume play. There's Duncan up and through the uprights. It is good. 47-14. The mercy rule will be enacted here in Suwannee.
47, Mountain Lions 14.
Correction, it's a 33-point lead for the Falcons over the Mountain Lions. So the mercy rule will not be enacted just yet. So we'll see if it gets enacted later on. But 5:54 left in the third quarter.
Looking at the sideline of since you won't see it with the video, looking at the sidelines of Suwannee, they look a little defeated, and being a 33, them being down 33, and them not being in this position yet this season, they look a little down on themselves right now. That's not what you want to do. Even though you're still down, you know, you still got a chance to improve. You got a whole quarter in about 6 minutes if you're rounding it. And you get the ball game back in your hands, so yeah, they shouldn't be down because they're not down now just yet.
Here's the kickoff by Duncan that goes to the 20-yard line, bounces at the 23, picked up. It's picked up by 20. Steven Zoo's rusher trying to avoid Falcon tackles, and forward progress called, even though he's still on his feet here, so the referee stops it, even though he wasn't actually tackled there. Stopped at the 21-yard line. If only we had video for that. A guy doing get the Mountain Lions motivated. So here's Stensby scrambling around, Minor rushing him, and Minor brings him down. Sack for the Falcons.
Looking at that guy that did all them cartwheels, he lost his fanny pack, he lost his keys, and he lost his hat.
Looks like he's only recovered one out of the two of those. He hasn't gone for the other items just yet.
Well, his keys and his fanny pack is still on the ground. We'll be back with you if he does pick them up.
The clock running down with 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Ball snap. Toss across the middle. It is caught by 21. Gabriel Stevens catches it across the middle. 35-yard line is where they'll spot the ball on 3rd and 2. Stensby, ball snapped. Stensby looking for someone to pass to. Toss it on the outside and caught by Zettler. How did he manage to catch that?
And since they can't see it, he got hit pretty clean and hard on that tackle.
And the Mountain Lions are trying to continually rush it here so that they can have a hurry-up offense, wanting to catch the Falcons off guard on their defense. Here's Stensby back in the pocket, looking for someone to pass to. Takes the rush across the middle and down at the 47-yard line in Falcon territory. 2nd and 1.
48-yard line.
Mountain Lions still fighting.
2nd and short.
Come on, White!
Stensby fakes the pass, pitches it out to Zettler. Zettler staying on his feet and brought out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Still in Falcon territory, 3:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Falcons still lead by 33. The Mountain Lions still fighting here, but if the results hold up, the Falcons will advance to 2-0 in the division, and their record will become positive the first time this season. I believe 3-2. See if I get that right. Yes, it would advance to 3-2 on the season. Stensby, toss on the right side. It's caught by 21 Gabriel Stevens. He's brought down at the 32-yard line.
First down.
What do you think?
Mountain Lion ball at the Falcon 32-yard line.
We have 0 views right now. We can close up shop right now.
Come on, Sonny boy, get him!
Let's wait to see how this drive goes, and then we'll call it. And here's Stensby, almost intercepted by Michael Griggs off of his shoulder.